Today we'll be following the ongoing trial of the nurse Lucy Letby, who is accused of the murder of 7 babies and the attempted murder of 10 others. She has pled not guilty to all charges. First today, we'll be taking a look at Child I, a baby girl who Miss Letby allegedly murdered on the 23rd of October 2015. We're currently hearing about Child I's first of 4 collapses on the 30th of September. Miss Letby was the infant's designated nurse. Miss Letby said she was not unduly concerned about Child I at the start of her day shift. At around 1500 hours, Miss Letby noted that Child I appeared mottled in colour with a distended abdomen. At around 16:30, an emergency crash call went out as her heart rate had dropped. Miss Letby told detectives she could not recall the specifics of this incident. She is then asked about the baby's second collapse on the 12th-13th of October. Miss Letby recalls this incident and says, quote, "Oh yes, this was when she was found apneic in her cot at night." She told detectives she and a nursing colleague found Child I gasping for breath. She gave rescue breaths via the Neopuff device and doctors were called to assist. Asked about Child I's final and fatal collapse on the 23rd of October 2015, Miss Letby said she can't recall the specifics of the night, but said she remembers her dying and her parents having time with her. Miss Letby said she wanted to attend Child I's funeral, but she couldn't as she was working. Miss Letby was asked about the card that you see in front of you. She sent it to the parents of Child I after her death. She told detectives she sent it as it was, quote, "not very often you get to know a family as well as we did with Child I." Detectives found the above image on Miss Letby's phone. She was asked why she took a picture of the card. She said it was, quote, "upsetting losing Child I, and I think it was nice to remember the kind words I shared with that family." She also said, quote, "I often take pictures of any cards I send, even birthday cards." She said this was the first and only card she had sent to a family of a baby she had treated. Miss Letby is asked about the incident on the 12th-13th of October. Her colleague Ashley Hudson told police that she saw Miss Letby was stood in the doorway of the nursery where Child I was and commented that she looked pale. Nurse Hudson turned on the light and saw that Child I appeared at the point of dying and was not breathing. Detectives quizzed Miss Letby and said, quote, "Did you know she was looking pale because you just attacked her?" "No," Miss Letby said. Detectives point out that Miss Letby had carried out Facebook searches of the family of Child I 7 months after her death. She is asked why she did this. She told detectives she did not remember carrying out the searches. The jury is now hearing evidence regarding Child K, a baby girl Miss Letby allegedly attempted to murder on the 17th of February 2016. It is claimed a doctor, Ravi Jairam, walked in on Miss Letby as she attempted to kill her. Miss Letby told detectives that she had, quote, "very little memory of Child K, other than the fact she was a 25-week premature baby." In his evidence, Dr. Jairam reported that when he arrived on the unit, Child K's ET tube had slipped and her oxygen saturations were in the 80s. Miss Letby was, according to the medic, stood near to the baby's ventilator. Miss Letby denied dislodging the baby's ET tube and said if she had have noticed the saturation levels, she would have summoned help. The jury is now hearing summaries for Child L, a twin boy who it is alleged Miss Letby attempted to murder on April 9th, 2016. Asked if she had inflicted any injury on Child L, she told police no. The Crown say that Miss Letby gave Child L an unauthorised dose of insulin. In her interview, Miss Letby is asked where insulin is kept on the unit and what the process for administering it to a patient is. She told officers it was kept in a fridge and it would have to be prescribed. Miss Letby explained that the insulin was in a locked fridge in the equipment room, the keys for which are passed around among neonatal nursing staff as and when they are needed. Detectives asked Miss Letby if she attempted to murder Child L by injecting him with insulin. She said no. Asked if he could have been injected by mistake, she said, quote, "I don't really see how," and said it was unlikely such a mistake could happen. Police put the expert evidence of Dr. Dewey Evans to Miss Letby that insulin had been administered. She said, quote, "That wasn't done by me." Miss Letby was asked if she had any explanation whatsoever for how insulin ended up in his circulation. She said, quote, "No, not unless it was already in one of the bags he was already receiving." Asked if she added the insulin to a bag, she said no. The jury is now hearing interview summaries for Child M, Child L's twin brother, who the Crown say Miss Letby attempted to kill on the same day. The court has previously heard that Child M suffered an unexpected life-threatening collapse at around 1600 hours on the 9th of April 2016. His heart rate and breathing dropped dramatically and he required full resuscitation by medical staff. Miss Letby told detectives she did not know why Child M desaturated. The only thing she could recall was that it was a busy shift, as it was, quote, "Not very often we had that many babies in nursery 1. Asked if she had caused the infant's collapse, she said, "I didn't cause that, I don't know who would have." She denied administering air in a bid to kill Child M. Miss Letby was asked about a paper towel found at her home address when it was searched in 2018. The towel was used in 2016 as a make-do drugs chart for Child M during his resuscitation. Police asked Miss Letby why this was in her possession and why it was in her home. Miss Letby said it was, quote, "an error on her part that it had been taken home." Asked why it had not been destroyed, she said it must have been put to one side and forgotten about. She denied keeping it to remind her of when she attacked Child M. Among the items seized by police was also Miss Letby's diary. On the 8th of April 2016, it is written, "LD, long day, twins." The following day, it is written, "LD, twins, resus." Miss Letby was asked why she had logged this. She said it was because it was a significant event. The jury is now hearing summaries for Child N, a baby boy it is claimed Miss Letby attempted to murder 3 times, once on the 3rd of June and twice on the 15th of June 2016. Manchester Crown Court has previously heard that in the early hours of the 3rd of June, Child N experienced a sudden deterioration and was heard screaming and crying for 30 minutes. The court has also previously heard that on the 15th of June, Child N suffered further collapses and bleeding was noted at the back of his throat. The Crown alleged that the bleeding could have been a result of an inflicted injury. In her police interview, Miss Letby said she was, quote, "not sure why Child N was bleeding." When asked, "Are you responsible for the attempted murder of Child N?" Miss Letby said, "No." The jury are now being shown summaries for Child O, a baby triplet who Miss Letby is alleged to have murdered on the 23rd of June 2016. Manchester Crown Court has previously heard how Child O was in good condition and stable up until the afternoon of the 23rd of June when he suffered a remarkable deterioration and died. Miss Letby agreed when asked if Child O's death was unexpected. She denied harming Child O. "I did not physically injure Child O," she said. The jury is now being shown the interview summary for Child P, Child O's triplet brother, who the Crown say was murdered by Miss Letby the day after Child O's death. Miss Letby said Child P's death was unexpected. She told the police that the parents had asked her to take pictures of the twins after their deaths top and tail in a Moses basket. "If that's what they wanted, I wanted to do it," she said. Police asked Miss Letby about a comment from nurse Catherine Percival Calderbank. She said Letby expressed that she was unhappy at being put in the outside nurseries. Quote, "She said it was boring and she didn't want to feed babies. She wanted to be in the intensive care." Miss Letby said, quote, "I don't recall calling my work boring in any capacity."